You weren't born to blend in. You were born to lead, to be heard, to stand out like a lighthouse in a storm. But let's face it, most people are whispering in a world that rewards the bold. Today, we change that. If you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or unheard, you're not alone, but you are not powerless. In this video, you're going to learn how to stand tall, speak with confidence, and lead with power in any room you walk into. It's time to stop playing small and start owning your presence. Let's get to it. Number 1, own your voice like it matters, because it does. There's a reason this is the first step, because nothing changes until you believe that what you have to say matters. Most people silence themselves before the world ever gets the chance. They downplay their opinions, filter their truth, and soften their presence in fear of judgment. But here's the truth. If you don't own your voice, someone else will write your story. Your voice is your identity in motion. It's the expression of your ideas, your values, your perspective, your power. And when you speak from that place, from the truth of who you are, people feel it. They don't just hear your words, they feel your certainty. Your voice becomes a force. But owning your voice isn't about being the loudest in the room, it's about being the clearest. Clarity beats volume every single time. People don't remember the noise, they remember the message that cut through it. So speak with purpose. Know what you stand for and say it without hesitation. When you speak, don't just fill silence, shape it. Confidence in your voice doesn't appear overnight. It's built through repetition, through showing up, speaking up, and seeing that you won't crumble if someone disagrees with you. In fact, disagreement is a good sign. It means you're finally saying something worth listening to. Safe words rarely spark change. Strong words do. And remember, your voice is not just about the words you say. It's about how you say them. Your tone, your posture, your eye contact. These are all part of the message. Speak like someone who believes in themselves. Sit up straight. Breathe deeply. Make eye contact. Your physiology fuels your psychology. If you've been quiet for a long time, it can feel risky to speak boldly. But the real risk is staying silent. Every time you suppress your voice, you chip away at your confidence. Every time you express it, you strengthen it. Your voice is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. Start small. Speak up in meetings. Share your thoughts in conversations. Say what you really mean, not just what you think they want to hear. Bit by bit, you'll train yourself to stop shrinking and start standing tall. And when you do, something powerful happens. The world adjusts. People begin to treat you differently. They listen more intently. They respond with more respect. Why? Because you've decided to respect yourself first. So let this be your turning point. No more waiting for someone to hand you the microphone. Pick it up. Own it. Use your voice not just to speak, but to lead. Because your voice matters. And the moment you believe that, the world will start to believe it too. Number 2, show up as the most prepared person in the room. Here's the unshakable truth about powerful leadership. Confidence isn't born, it's built. And it's built on preparation. People who lead with certainty aren't guessing their way through life. They've done the work, studied the details, and anticipated the questions. They don't show up hoping to survive. They show up prepared to dominate. When you're the most prepared person in the room, it shows. You don't need to boast or bluff. You don't need to posture or fake it. Your energy does the talking. It's calm, focused, unshakable. Because you're not wondering if you can deliver. You know you can. You've already done it behind the scenes. Think about the professionals you respect most. Whether it's an athlete, a CEO, a speaker, or a surgeon, what do they all have in common? Mastery. And mastery only comes from preparation. The kind that happens when no one's watching. The kind that stacks up quietly, until one day it makes you unstoppable in public. Preparation builds trust, not just in others, but in yourself. When you prepare thoroughly, you silence the inner critic. You eliminate doubt. You create a rock-solid foundation that says, no matter what happens, I'm ready. And readiness breeds confidence. Let's break it down. Want to stand out at work? Know your subject better than anyone else. Anticipate the questions. Have data at your fingertips. Practice your delivery. Don't just skim. Study. Don't just rehearse. Internalize. When you walk into that meeting, let them feel the difference. Want to speak with more authority? Prepare your message like it's a mission. Know your story. Know your audience. Rehearse until your words flow like truth, not memorization. People follow those who speak with clarity, and clarity comes from knowing exactly what you want to say and why it matters. Preparation also shows respect for the opportunity, the people around you, and yourself. It's a silent signal that says, this matters to me. And when others see that it matters to you, they begin to treat you with the seriousness you've earned. Your preparation sets the tone for how others respond. Here's the bonus. When you're prepared, you become adaptable. You're not rigidly clinging to a script. You're fluent in your message. That means you can pivot, handle surprises, and stay composed when things go sideways. That's what separates leaders from the rest. They're not just confident in the plan, they're confident in themselves. So how do you start? Make preparation your personal standard. Show up 10% more ready than anyone expects. Do the extra reps. Ask yourself, if I were the expert, how would I prepare? Then do that. The more prepared you are, the more powerful you'll become. Because here's the truth. It's not the most charismatic, loudest, or most extroverted person who leads. It's the most prepared. Show up like your future depends on it. Because it does. Number 3. Build a reputation that speaks before you do. In the world of leadership and influence, your reputation is your most valuable currency. It's the silent introduction that precedes you, a powerful force that opens doors, builds trust, and commands respect before you even say a word. If you want to stand out, be heard, and lead with power, you must cultivate a reputation that speaks volumes on your behalf. Reputation is not something you can manufacture overnight. It is earned in the small, consistent actions that build trust over time. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's how your name becomes synonymous with reliability, excellence, and integrity. Leaders who stand out don't need to shout their credentials. Their reputation does the heavy lifting. Think about the people you admire most. What is it about them that makes you trust their words and follow their lead? Chances are, it's their track record. They do what they say they will do. They deliver results when it matters most. They show up with consistency, and they hold themselves accountable. That's the foundation of a reputation that precedes power. Building this kind of reputation requires a mindset shift. You have to move from seeking immediate validation to focusing on long-term impact. It means prioritizing quality over quantity and depth over surface-level success. When you over-deliver and exceed expectations, you send a clear message. You are someone who can be counted on. But reputation is not just about performance. It's also about character. People want to follow leaders who are authentic, who listen, and who treat others with respect. Your integrity is the magnet that attracts loyal followers and meaningful connections. Without it, even the most impressive achievements can ring hollow. Another powerful truth: your reputation is your legacy in action. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, either strengthens or weakens it. So be intentional, be deliberate, protect it fiercely, because it is the platform from which your voice gains credibility and influence. Remember, reputation can also be your shield. When challenges arise, and they will, your reputation will cushion the impact. People will be more willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, trust your intentions, and stand by your side. That's the power of having built something real and lasting. So start today by asking yourself, what do I want people to say about me when I'm not there? What kind of leader do I want to be remembered as? Then commit to showing up in every moment, big or small, with integrity, excellence, and authenticity. Your reputation will become the loudest voice in the room, long before you even speak. Because at the end of the day, you don't just lead with your words, you lead with the legacy your actions create. Build a reputation that demands respect, and watch how the world begins to listen. Number 3. Build a reputation that speaks before you do. In the world of leadership and influence, your reputation is your most valuable currency. It's the silent introduction that precedes you, a powerful force that opens doors, builds trust, and commands respect before you even say a word. If you want to stand out, be heard, and lead with power, you must cultivate a reputation that speaks volumes on your behalf. Reputation is not something you can manufacture overnight. It is earned in the small, consistent actions that build trust over time. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's how your name becomes synonymous with reliability, excellence, and integrity. Leaders who stand out don't need to shout their credentials. Their reputation does the heavy lifting. Think about the people you admire most. What is it about them that makes you trust their words and follow their lead? Chances are, it's their track record. They do what they say they will do. They deliver results when it matters most. They show up with consistency, and they hold themselves accountable. That's the foundation of a reputation that precedes power. Building this kind of reputation requires a mindset shift. You have to move from seeking immediate validation to focusing on long-term impact. It means prioritizing quality over quantity and depth over surface-level success. When you over-deliver and exceed expectations, you send a clear message. You are someone who can be counted on. But reputation is not just about performance. It's also about character. People want to follow leaders who are authentic, who listen, and who treat others with respect. Your integrity is the magnet that attracts loyal followers and meaningful connections. Without it, even the most impressive achievements can ring hollow. Another powerful truth: your reputation is your legacy in action. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, either strengthens or weakens it. So be intentional, be deliberate, protect it fiercely, because it is the platform from which your voice gains credibility and influence. Remember, reputation can also be your shield. When challenges arise, and they will, your reputation will cushion the impact. People will be more willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, trust your intentions, and stand by your side. That's the power of having built something real and lasting. So start today by asking yourself, what do I want people to say about me when I'm not there? What kind of leader do I want to be remembered as? Then commit to showing up in every moment, big or small, with integrity, excellence, and authenticity. Your reputation will become the loudest voice in the room, long before you even speak. Because at the end of the day, you don't just lead with your words, you lead with the legacy your actions create. Build a reputation that demands respect, and watch how the world begins to listen. Number 4, stand for something bigger than yourself. If you want to lead with true power, you must stand for something greater than your own success. Leadership isn't about chasing attention or accumulating followers. It's about serving a cause, a mission, or a set of values that transcends you. When you anchor yourself to a purpose bigger than yourself, you create magnetic energy that draws people in and inspires loyalty. Why does this matter? Because people don't follow people, they follow meaning. They want to be part of something that matters. When your actions align with a clear, compelling purpose, your leadership stops being about you and starts being about the change you're driving. This shift in focus instantly elevates your influence. Standing for something bigger means clarifying your why. What are you fighting for? What problem do you want to solve? What impact do you want to leave on the world? These questions aren't just philosophical. They are the bedrock of powerful leadership. When you know your why, every decision, every word, every action gains direction and strength. Consider the leaders who inspire you the most. What makes them unforgettable is not just their charisma or skills, but their unwavering commitment to a cause. Whether it's a social movement, a business vision, or a personal mission, their leadership is fueled by something that refuses to be compromised. That kind of passion is contagious. When you stand for something bigger, you also develop resilience. Challenges, criticism, and setbacks won't shake you because your purpose is your anchor. Instead of wavering in the face of obstacles, you lean in harder, fueled by the knowledge that what you're doing matters far beyond the moment or the self. This kind of resilience is magnetic, but standing for a cause doesn't mean ignoring yourself. In fact, it requires deep self-awareness. Your values, your strengths, and your experiences shape the mission only you can lead. Your authenticity in this is what builds trust. People can sense when leadership is genuine versus when it's performative. Genuine purpose is a powerful magnet. Finally, when your leadership is aligned with a higher purpose, you create impact that outlasts you. You build a legacy that inspires others to continue the work long after you've moved on. Leadership becomes a ripple effect, multiplying your influence far beyond what you could do alone. So don't just ask, how do I stand out? Ask instead, what do I stand for? Make that your guiding light. Let your mission be the reason you show up every day with power and presence. Because when your leadership is fueled by purpose, you don't just lead, you Number 5. Master the art of presence. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless interruptions, true power comes from mastering presence. Presence is not about being the loudest or most dramatic person in the room. It's about commanding attention simply by being fully grounded and engaged. When you cultivate presence, you become unforgettable, not because you shout, but because people feel your energy, your confidence, your focus. Presence is a magnetic force. It draws people in naturally. Think about the people you've met who just seem to fill the room with calm authority. They don't have to compete for attention. Their presence demands it. That's the kind of power that leaders need to cultivate. The power of being fully in the moment, fully yourself, fully connected. So how do you develop this rare quality? It starts with your mindset and your body. Presence is a combination of how you think and how you carry yourself. When your mind is scattered, when you're distracted by your phone or your own thoughts, your presence. But when your mind is focused and your body is aligned, your presence expands. Begin with your breath. Deep, steady breathing anchors you in the present. It calms the nervous system and clears mental clutter. When you breathe with intention, you signal to your body and brain that you are ready, that you are centered, that you belong in this moment. Next, posture matters. Stand or sit tall. Open your chest. Relax your shoulders. These simple adjustments communicate confidence, not arrogance but calm assurance. Your body language speaks louder than your words. When you carry yourself with ease and strength, people instinctively pay attention. Eye contact is another key to presence. It's the bridge that connects you to others. When you look people in the eye with genuine interest and attention, you create a powerful connection. People feel seen, valued, and respected. And when people feel that way, they listen, they follow. Listening itself is a form of presence. True leaders listen more than they speak. They don't just wait for their turn to talk. They absorb, process, and respond thoughtfully. When you listen deeply, you build trust and show respect. Presence is as much about giving others space to be heard as it is about making yourself heard. Presence is not something you turn on and off like a switch. It's a habit you develop through daily practice. It requires you to slow down in a fast-paced world, to be intentional with your attention, to show up fully, physically, mentally, emotionally. And here's the most powerful truth. When you master presence, you don't just capture attention, you command it. People don't just hear your words, they feel your power. Presence makes your leadership magnetic. It makes your influence natural and effortless. It makes you stand out without trying. So start today. Practice being fully present in every interaction. Breathe deeply. Stand tall. Look people in the eye. Listen with intent. The more you do this, the more your presence will grow, and with it your power to lead. Number 6. Be willing to walk alone before others follow. One of the hardest truths about standing out and leading with power is this. You have to be willing to walk alone, at least at first. True leadership often begins in solitude, before a movement forms, before a crowd gathers, before applause fills the room. There's a moment when you stand by yourself, holding your vision steady while others doubt or hesitate. Walking alone isn't easy. It means facing uncertainty without the safety net of approval. It means making decisions that might be unpopular or misunderstood. It means risking criticism and rejection. But it is in this space, alone, focused, unwavering, that leaders are forged. Why is walking alone so important? Because it tests your commitment. It separates those who lead with courage from those who follow out of convenience. When you are willing to stand firm in your beliefs and values without immediate support, you prove to yourself and the world that your leadership is authentic, not dependent on external validation. This solitude builds resilience and clarity. Without distractions or external noise, you sharpen your vision. You learn to trust your own judgment and instincts. You develop an inner strength that can't be shaken by the opinions of others. This foundation is essential because leadership is as much about inner conviction as it is about external influence. And here's the powerful secret. Walking alone is rarely permanent. When you stand tall despite the silence or skepticism, others start to notice. Your courage inspires, your consistency builds credibility. Slowly, but surely, followers emerge. Not because you chase them, but because you earned their trust. Leadership is a ripple effect. Your solitary stand becomes a beacon for others, seeking direction. Your willingness to be different opens the door for others to step into their own power. And what began as walking alone transforms into leading a movement. So if you feel isolated in your vision or hesitant to speak up because no one else is doing it, remember this. Every great leader has walked that path. The courage to be first, to be different, to be alone, is the courage that changes everything. Stand firm in your truth, even if it means standing alone for a while, because the world doesn't just need followers. It needs leaders who are unafraid to walk the path first. Your willingness to do that is what will set you apart, make you heard, and lead with unstoppable power.